good. I felt like, I got to start with some, good momentum, good steam. And then, I don't know what happened. I just feel like I went, no. It is. I'm just trying to figure out how to, like, I won't say keep it together because that makes it sound like I'm just one frustration away from falling apart. And I'm thankful I don't feel like I'm there. Hey, good people. It is yet another installment of I'm recording the previous day's video on the next day. So yeah, this is supposed to be video or day 14 and I'm recording it, but it's technically day 15 because it is 12:40 in the morning. Yeah. As far as a recap from today, I did initially wake up at 6. I want to say I did my skin to skin challenge in the morning. I'm trying to remember. I think I did. I can't remember. I had work today. Had a few meetings at work. I had dance practice this evening. What else did I do? Wow. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing how it's tough waking up early. And then I'm having late nights, and some of the late nights, of course, I can do better. And it's just a matter of me needing to get to bed earlier. Like, can't make any excuses about that. Some days it's literally because all the different activities I have for the day in between finishing up work, doing certain things I know the Lord's calling me to get done for the day in terms of like entrepreneurial efforts and or personal side projects and preparation for things that I know are going to be coming up soon. So it's better to do those things sooner rather than later, start chipping away at those tasks and to-dos and whatnot. And then also too, trying to make sure I'm being intentional about, outside of my work hours. Like I mentioned before, sometimes trying to do sermons and work at the same time, it just doesn't work. So all that of trying to make sure I'm doing things intentionally to distinguish this from being intermittent fasting, all those things together. Other days, sometimes my day one's late. So like, for instance, today, just in general, by the time I finished work and got back home after rehearsals and had to run like a quick errand on the way home, it was already 9 something when I got home, if I'm not mistaken. Like 9:15, maybe 9:30, somewhere around there, like right before 9:30. So then I wanted to eat myself a little something. Then it was like, okay, either I just eat food and just go right back to get ready for the next day, which I guess I should have done. And that's been the hard part, is figuring out like how much time to take, or I'm just taking a moment to just take a moment after I finish the workday and go. Because like I said, I may have not said it, but straight from work to dance rehearsal. Dance rehearsal was a while, then come home. So I really, after work, I didn't have really much of a moment to be like, okay, let me kind of transition out of work, take a moment, and then get ready for rehearsal. Just like boom, 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 boom. So when I come home, I want to actually do something a little different before I just go on to the next thing, Of course, obviously, I don't have to do it so late where I'm, having recorded video at 12:42. So kind of my balance. I could definitely say these past few days, dare I say week? Maybe past few days, not quite a week, but almost. Just been feeling off my game with my fasting days. I mean, I know I'm trying, but then like I could be trying harder, and then I don't know, like today wasn't quite a crawling day. I think, what was it? Thursday, Friday, that was the day I felt like I was crawling to that day's finish line. Like, ugh. And unfortunately, I feel like I look like what I've been through. I feel like I look tired. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to do it to be like, oh, look at me, I'm fasting, I'm tired. No, I'm just real tired. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, maybe I should just not take it on the chin, but for lack of a better word, maybe like suck it up and be a big girl about it, and just one night, as soon as I finish work, like do my necessity stuff, whether it's chores or go ahead and prepping for bed early, doing video, whatever, and just going straight to sleep by like 9:30, 10 maybe, and push the reset button. Maybe that's what I need to do again, and do it more than just like one time within a span of 2 weeks. I don't know. Like, I'm somewhere between feeling like, am I trying hard enough? And do I have enough to like give to still do more? You know what I mean? Like, It's interesting. I don't even know how to articulate it. Good. I felt like, I gotta start with some, good momentum, good steam, and then I don't know what happened. I just feel like I went, no. Oh my goodness. All I can say is I'm gonna keep trying. By the grace of God, I'm not gonna quit. I will say the amount of times in the past maybe 4 days I've been dreaming up of food and other things. I'm like, that I really would love to eat has been high. So just trying to stick with it. I myself why I'm doing this, asking the Lord for strength, making sure I take enough time to be honest with myself and saying, am I giving it my all? Am I setting myself up for lack of a better word, success enough with this fast? Am I just not denying myself enough, and maybe, if I spend less time over here, that'll help me over there. I'm not sure, And then I keep trying to remind myself this is actually going to be viewed like other people. So then part of me is kind of going back to the whole, maybe I shouldn't have jammies on. But then I'm like, some days it's like that. There's just a lot of stuff like overlapping at once. And it's not bad stuff. It's just different. This is definitely a transition season in a lot of different ways and like preparation. And I'm just trying to figure out how to I won't say keep it together because that makes it sound like I'm just one frustration away from falling apart. And I'm thankful I don't feel like I'm there. But it is kind of like, wait, what am I doing again? I think something, at least I know I haven't done the skin challenge each day. I think something I've been trying my best to keep up. Once I started it and implemented it during this fast was the Destroy Fear challenge. I don't know, maybe some days I can give myself grace, and if I can't get to the whole list, just finish up the rest of the list the next day. I have quite a few items on there. You could tell there's a lot of spirit of fear or demon of fear that needs to get cast out on a daily. I don't really know, and I don't like the fact that I feel like my latest videos have been just me saying like, I don't know, or like all over the place. Not saying necessarily my earlier videos have been more structured, but I feel the difference to me. Just trying to just ask the Lord for help, and I still see you in the midst of these type of like meh days where I feel like I'm not doing the best I can on this fast. I still see how God's moving and being gracious and leading me and guiding me and giving me encouragement and other stuff. I'm a person where I don't like feeling like I'm missing the mark or something, or I'm not juggling all the things in the air at the right time. If I feel like something slipped from the what's the word I'm looking for? From all the spinning plates I have. Clearly I wasn't trying hard enough. I'm not quitting by the grace of God. I'm not gonna quit. Just reevaluating how can I get back on track. Once again, this is the whole trying to remember that other people will be seeing this. So obviously with the help of the Holy Spirit, like being mindful of how much I say or like how I explain stuff, or just in general, just that whole courtesy of not just recording this just to show myself in the future, you know what I mean? But I guess this is true, and hey, it is a part of life, and I'm not trying to be weird or TMI, so, maybe depending on how I edit, maybe I'll give like a warning. I have no clue. I haven't even started editing these things, and that's a whole nother slight can of worms. But back to the actual topic at hand. I have to remind myself too, maybe it's because my cycle's coming up soon, so something I've noticed, even if not on the fast, is just in general, I'll get extra tired. Whatever level sleepy I'm on, I'm extra tired. Just double it, maybe even triple it. So I have to keep my mind on that's about to come up soon. So that might be a contributing factor. Aside from this just being a fast, then what else? When also that's coming up too, that sometimes I realize my highs can be really high, but my lows can feel even lower than they actually are. Not quite despair, but you know what I mean? Like maybe something's like, oh, that went bad, and then sometimes if I'm not being intentional in my mindset and taking my thoughts captive and stuff like that, it'll just feel slightly insurmountable. Whatever just happened, that was like, not the greatest, but it'll just feel like boom, down here. So And that might be some of the reason why too I'm kind of getting off the culture. Like I'm not, once again, I don't want to blame it on like, oh, it's my cycle's fault. Like no, I don't want to do that. But just constantly feel like I'm trying to find this balance between, am I giving myself enough grace or am I giving myself too much of a pass on stuff and not holding my own self accountable? And then once again, all that requires extra thinking. And then sometimes just like, I'm tired. I don't have to think extra and like extra deep. You know what I mean? Like just give me something easy. You know what I'm saying? 2 plus 2 is 4. You know? Not know what is, 3 to the 5th power, then divided by 5. And then, plus something else. You know what I mean? I don't want to think that hard. And I feel like that's what this season has been, having to be whatever level of attention or effort. I feel like I'm having to learn how to do beyond that in certain ways. And I'm just like, do I have it in me to do this long term? And I guess that's the whole point of, you don't go, by the grace of God in life, you hope not to regress, whatever facet of life that is. If you do find yourself regressing, that's not something, a permanent direction, that you're able to loop back and get back on the progression side of things. But oh wow, it's just, I don't even know. Like I feel like this is so, I've said this before on other videos, but it's true. I do feel like this is so all over the place that I feel like, but I guess I feel very exposed. I like not having stuff together, and I feel like a lot of these videos don't have my stuff together. You know what I mean? Grateful by God's grace, I've made it thus far in the fast, and even by His grace, I will continue on till day 40, and it won't just be to say, "Look at me, I completed a 40-day fast." You know what I mean? But that it's actually fruitful. That I actually learned. That I actually really did my best to submit myself to the Lord each and every day. That I don't just take this, oh, that was good, and then just go back to the same old routine. That I actually do my best to implement if there's things that need to be implemented beyond the 40-day fast, or things to start doing, things to stop doing, things to be more intentional about, or however, that's just my biggest prayer. I don't want this to just be 40 days of, I went through all of this and then I still went back to my old stuff. You know what I mean? And not saying old stuff was necessarily like life outside of Christ. No, it's just not treating this like a moment, but using this as a springboard to do better in my lifestyle habits. Of course, as with anything, I'll be excited once I have day 40, once I have all these videos together, and I can have hindsight and see how God was moving. And even in these moments where I'm feeling like it's just bleh and just not much of a direction, or just, I'm like, get it together, girl, At the risk of rambling even more, because let's see, I can't even remember what I originally said the time was when I first started this video, but I already know it's been a minute since this has been recording. So in an effort to not keep on rambling and potentially start nodding on camera, it's in like dozing off to sleep, I'm gonna end it here. And prayerfully, if I'm actually intentional enough, I will record today's, I almost said tomorrow's, but today's as in day 15, and I hope I said day 14 in this video, because that's what video this is supposed to be, even though it's day 15. Right, that my day 15 video or videos, that I do them earlier in the day, and they're on the day that I'm supposed to be recording about. So, anywho, I'm gonna talk to y'all later.